Hello and welcome to your practice. I'm Court Morgan and I'm so happy you're here. This is one of my favorite places on this earth, Lake Winnipesaukee in New Hampshire. And it's really just a very special, beautiful place, this gorgeous lake surrounded by mountains and forest. And I wanted to share it with you. So this is really a practice that's just like full on things that feel good, particularly if you're on vacation or doing a little shake off the rust practice on the weekend. You can probably tell that it's morning here. And so I'm just going to be bringing some of that. So nice, slow, open practice that I hope will feel really good. All right, so let's get started. And you can just begin here seated for a moment. We'll just close the eyes. Take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Let's take another deep breath in. And open the mouth when you're ready. Just taking a moment as you allow your body to connect with the ground, with the earth. Feeling the stability, the support of whatever it is you're sitting on. And letting that stability expand with the breath. So we might be able to sense the spine also upright. Maybe the frame of the skeleton just resting, buoyant in the muscles, the tissues. And as you sense into this, now starting to notice if anywhere feels pleasant. So by that I mean if you're experiencing pleasant in the body, so maybe it's very, very small somewhere. Maybe it's a little challenging to find if it's one of those days or one of those weeks. But we can either find that sense either somewhere pleasant or pleasurable in the body even. Maybe the body feels already kind of loose and open. Or maybe it feels strong. But if it's challenging to find that within, then let's bring in a resource from the outside, so to speak. So maybe a beloved person or friend or animal, or a setting that you love. I'm letting that suffuse and soak through the body. So we can notice where we feel this pleasant, this pleasure. We can notice how big it is, what its qualities are. And we just invite this to be a space of refuge for us. The world is complex, it's big, many things to navigate. Let me touch into this and start to mark the path. Like discovering a little walking trail that's been a bit overgrown maybe in the forest. As we start to clear the brush away, it becomes more obvious to us every time we come back. So from here, we can join the palms. Maybe bow the chin. Let's take a deeper breath into the center of the hands. Then we can release the arms, let the eyes open. We'll start very simply. So just go ahead and bring your shin in front of the other. So one shin in front of the other, it doesn't matter which one. And we'll try to bring the shins more or less parallel to each other and flex the feet. And this just starts to open the hip socket a little bit more readily. So now if this is challenging, of course, that's fine. But just do your best. So then we can walk the hands forward. Right, take a little light forward fold. I start a lot of practices this way. Just keeping it really simple. So just breathing into this, maybe swaying or rocking side to side. And as you come back up through the center, let's inhale and walk the hands back. And we'll take your right hand. We'll say reach your left arm up and over and take a nice big side bend over to the right. So you can bend that bottom elbow, the right elbow, let the shoulder drop away from the ear. And just find lovely length through the left side of the body. On your in-breath, we'll rise up. And exhale to come all the way back. And then just take the other way. So bring that right hand to the left knee. We'll bring the left fingertips behind, lifting up nice and tall. So create that extension through the spine first, even maybe a little bit of a sense of a back bend for most of us. Now on your exhalation, go ahead and turn, rotating. So we can move the head of the left shoulder back, broadening the left collarbone, and we'll turn and look over the right shoulder. I often like to start with very simple things that move the spine in pretty much every direction. Then on your in-breath, we'll gently release out of that. Go ahead and switch your legs. Bring your opposite shin in front. Flex your feet to the best of your ability. Try to press the instep of the foot a little bit out to the side so you can see how my feet aren't cycling. I can't really see the bottoms of the feet. And then walk the hands forward. And this can just be really, really light, just knocking the rest off. From your day or from your drive or from sleeping, wherever this finds you. Give yourself just a little sway, a little rock side to side if it's helpful. A breath or 2 or 3 here. And as you inhale and walk the hands up, let's go ahead and take that left hand a big step off to the left. We'll reach your right arm up. Find a nice little side bend here, dropping that left elbow down. And as you reach up and over with the right fingertips, particularly that right ring finger, let there be a nice sense of opening through the right side of the waist, the ribs, the lung. And on your next in-breath, we'll take that top arm up. We'll bring the left hand to the right knee, right fingertips behind, just lift up nice and tall. Maybe even feel like you're finding a little bit of a back bend. We can turn and rotate. So as you gently, gently open and encourage the right shoulder blade to move a bit back, right, broadening through the right collarbone, and let's turn the head, look over that left shoulder so we can unstick the neck. And then we'll inhale, gently unwind, come all the way out. Okay, let's come onto hands and knees. So as you can see, I don't even have a mat today, just a towel. You can certainly do the thing. I think less barriers to practice, the better. So we can just round the spine. Right? And we'll inhale to arch the back. So moving through cat-cow. And exhale as you round. And inhale to arch. Nice. Now, I really like to take my time with cat-cow. I used to kind of like whip my spine forward and back. But I really like to take the time to try and press in to the space right where the ribs meet the low back. So it's very like middle back, and try to push it up towards the sky. And then feel that same space trying to lengthen and almost reach forward. So it's not really in the low back. It's feeling that evenness of emphasis throughout the entirety of the spine. to the best of my ability. Good. And then as we come back to the center, let's find a little lateral flexion and extension. So turning, looking towards one hip, and you can bring that shoulder towards that hip. Inhale back to the center, and then we'll just go the other way. So turning, shoulder towards the hip, and back to the center. Let's do it one more time on each side, or 2 more times, whatever's good for you. And as you make your way back to the middle, great, let's go ahead and take the knees a little wider than the hips. Tuck your toes under, take your hands a big step forward. I like to come onto the fingertips. You could certainly come to the palms. And then reach the chest down. So forehead might come to the ground. The chin or the face might come to the ground. Chest might come to the ground if you're very open in this way. I am not. So, we just have to work where we are. Great. And then as you can probably see if you look up, the front ribs tend to flare quite a bit, and you might be able to just feel this on yourself too. So just gently lift the front ribs up and in. Press into the fingertips and try to push the hips back a little bit. So now we take the back bend out of it, and we start to find a little bit of stabilization through the front of the core. All right, this will put the emphasis through the lats, through the waist a bit more, through the shoulders. And then as you inhale, we come all the way up. Nice. And then one more here, continuing this theme of just like moving the spine in every direction. So left wrist underneath left shoulder. Inhale as you reach the right arm up. Find a nice big open twist, and then exhale, dive it underneath. So side of the arm, side of the face. And you can always walk your left fingertips forward, come down to the side of the face. There's lots of good variations here. If you have one you love, then take it. And just finding some good breath. Opening through the back of that right shoulder blade. Great. As you exhale, we'll bring the left hand back. So wrist underneath the elbow, press up. Then we'll bring the right hand down, so right wrist underneath the right shoulder. Inhale to reach that left arm up. And as you exhale, turn and dive your left arm underneath your right. Come down to the side of the arm, side of the face. Maybe right hand walks forward. If there's another variation you love, then do it. And just take a few breaths here to the left shoulder blade. And as you exhale, let's bend your right elbow, bring your palm back. Help yourself come back up onto hands and knees. And give yourself any little wiggles. Great. Okay, and I'd like you to go ahead and reach right arm and left leg away from each other. And we'll exhale to lower, and we'll reach left arm and right leg. And exhale to lower. Let's do right arm, left leg. Great. Go ahead and release that right hand down. We'll sweep the left leg behind the right, so you're knee to knee. And then split your shins a little bit wider. Push the hips back. So hips don't need to touch the ground. They certainly could. But I really want that right outer hip, the right IT band, to feel like it's getting a good pull here. So push into the palms, reach those hips back. And then we'll change the emphasis slightly by walking the hands over to the right. And again, lean into the left side of the waist. And we'll inhale back to the middle. Make your way up onto hands and knees. Go ahead and unwind, and we'll step that left foot forward outside of the left hand. Okay, so you can tuck your back toes and lift up your right knee. Move it back a little bit if you want to. Turn the left toes to the left. Okay, and give yourself just a nice little sway or rock here. Just low to the ground, opening, stretching goodness is always great when it's on the menu. Okay, we can bring the right hand right underneath the right shoulder, press down. We'll use the left hand on the left knee to give a little more lift through the spine. And then just turning. Bend your right knee, reach back with your left hand, and draw the heel towards the hip. And as you press down, turn, rotate the chest. Right. Let me find a little quad stretch here. Right, and as we exhale, go ahead and release. Nice. Toes down. Go ahead and step left knee back. And then again, just move through a little cat-cow. So inhaling to arch and exhaling to round. Good. As we come back to the center, go ahead and reach right leg and left arm. And exhale to lower. Reach right arm and left leg. And exhale to lower. And then going back to the first side, so left arm, right leg. We'll release left hand down, right leg stays lifted, cross it behind the left knee. Split your shins and push the hips back. And just spreading through the back body. Good. And then as we inhale, we'll walk the hands over to the left, leaning into the right side of the waist. So just shifting the emphasis a little bit. Good. Come all the way back to the center. Palms down. Shift the hips forward. We'll unwind the right leg from behind and step it outside of the right hand. So you can always walk your left knee back a little bit. Turn the right toes to the right. Take a few breaths here, just swaying and rocking if that's helpful. Letting the front of the left hip open a bit more. And we'll bring right hand to the right knee. Press down, turn, open, and twist. Let's bend your left knee, reach back with your right hand, find that foot, and then pull the heel towards the hip. All right, and then we let the hips drop down just a little bit more. We find a nice little quad stretch, and certainly if you have a strap around, you can place a strap around the foot and hold on to that just to extend your reach. And if that doesn't feel good for the knee, then just stay in a lizard. Maybe you drop to the forearms. You could always walk your hands to one side, play around with it. And then we exhale, go ahead and release. So both hands down. We'll step the right leg back to meet the left. Again, find a little cat-cow, rounding the spine. And inhaling to arch the back. As we come back to the center, find that suspension state like we did in that puppy pose, lifting the front ribs up. Okay, walk the hands a little forward. We can tuck the toes, reach the hips up and back, and come into downward facing dog. So just pedaling your feet, opening the calves. All right, finding lots and lots of length and openness here. All right, so with the palms, just make sure that they're spread. All 5 fingers are spread. Index fingers are pointed to the top of your towel or your mats. Take a look at your feet. See that they're about hip distance. They could certainly be wider too. And then you shouldn't really be able to see the heel. So yeah, it's almost like you can only see the creases on the front of the ankle. That's how you kind of know that your feet are level as well, parallel to each other. Let's take another deep breath in right here. And exhale to let it go. All right, let's inhale and reach right leg up and back. And you could bend the knee, you could open the hip here. You could move your hip in circles if you want. And then with the ball of the left foot, press down and try to pull back like you're trying to scrape gum off the bottom of your foot. Keep reaching your arms. And then as you exhale, step right foot forward between the hands. And left knee can come down. We'll slide your right foot back 1 foot's length and send the knee past the toes. So I want a little bit of a gap between the heel and the ground. This is going to give you the opportunity to open up through the back of the ankle to get into the calves a little bit more deeply. And again, always a good spot if you want to sway or rock. So then we can walk the fingertips back again. Slide your right foot forward, tuck the back toes, lift up the knee. Okay, and just fingertips the ground. If you had blocks, you can use that. A few times we'll inhale to lengthen your right leg, and then exhale to bend the knee. Let's do that a couple more. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale to bend. And then last one, inhale, lengthen. Good. This time we'll turn the left heel to the floor. So if you were to look, it's nice to have stripes on this towel, you can see that the heels intersect each other. If you were to draw a line. Right fingertips come inside of the right leg. Inhale as you turn and twist, reaching the left arm high. Just find this lovely little triangle pose. Okay, let's take this left palm, we'll turn so that the thumb points back towards that back leg. And bend the elbow, bring the arm behind your back. We'll just find a nice little soft half bind here. So pressing the forearm into the back. Draw the left collarbone open. Gently knitting the front ribs in. And then on your exhalation, release both hands down to the ground. Plant the palms, step back. Downward facing dog. Okay, so let's inhale and shift forward to plank. And then knees can come up or down, lower all the way to the ground. And untuck your toes. Inhale into a little bit of a back bend, hugging the elbows in, broadening the collarbones. Exhale as you shift the hips up and back to child's pose. We'll inhale through little cow pose, and then downward facing dog. Let's inhale, lengthen left leg up and back. Bend the knee, open the hip, lean into it. And then again, with the ball of that right foot, press down and try to scrape back. As you exhale, step your left foot forward. Right knee can come to the floor, and we'll slide your left foot back. So just walking the hands forward and have a little space between the left heel and the floor. Yeah, so as the knee moves past the toes, you're going to get a nice big stretch, probably, unless you're very open in this way already, through the Achilles tendon and through the deeper calf muscle, the soleus. And just giving yourself the opportunity here. And then as we inhale, and come out of that, go ahead and slide your foot forward again. We'll tuck the back toes, lift up your right knee, fingertips to the ground, and a few times we'll inhale, lengthen your left leg, and exhale to bend the knee. So let's do that again. Inhale as you lengthen, and exhale as you bend. Got the sun starting to come out. Inhale to lengthen, we'll pause, then drop that right heel down. So again, you should see that heel to heel or maybe heel to arch. Left fingertips come inside of the left leg, underneath the shoulder. Inhale as you reach the right arm high. So you just come into triangle pose, Uttita Trikonasana. And in this triangle, we'll turn the palms, so rotate so the back of the hand looks forward. The thumb will point back to the right hip. Bend your elbow, bring the arm behind your back. And just press and turn. And giving yourself the opportunity to just enjoy. I like this version a lot. It gets a little bit more into the adductor, the inner thigh. And we can exhale, release your hands, bend the knee, step all the way back, downward facing dog. And once again, we'll inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale as you lower. Right, untuck your toes. Hug those elbows in, broaden the collarbones. We'll press in the tops of the feet. And as you lengthen the arms, I like to keep a slight bend through the elbows. And it's probably harder to see with these pants on, but thighs are lifting away from the floor. So this is upward facing dog. If that doesn't feel good, lower down. Give yourself more support. So chest nice and broad, gently moving the head back. As we exhale, come into downward facing dog. Good, nice deep breath in through the nose. Open mouth exhale. Great. Let's walk the hands and the feet together. So, for some of you, will be okay to keep your feet hip distance. I have to take my feet pretty wide in this pose. We can turn the toes out. Oh my gosh, I'm getting a visitor. Hi, Opus. This is Opus. Having a cameo moment. Knees are nice and bent. Perfect. And then hands can come together at the heart. And we'll come into Malasana. Great. So, as long as the heels are on the ground, and actually that's not a hard rule either. Certainly you could have your heels lifted a little bit. But, you know, it is nice to have that sense, the sense of grounding through the heels, through the whole of the foot. Okay, and then release the fingertips down. We'll go ahead and lengthen the legs, parallel the feet, and find a little forward fold here. Nice. Okay, so feet can stay a little bit wider than hip distance, or they can be hip distance, whichever is convenient, yeah? We'll bend the right knee, bring the right fingertips down underneath the chest, and lift up. And then we can turn and open to the left. So now getting a little bit more into that outer hip. So you might have to shift your weight, especially if the hips or if the feet are a little bit wider. So push into the right foot and move the hips over to the left a little bit. And we'll exhale and release. Left fingertips down. Bend your left knee, lengthen your right leg. Turn and open the chest to the right. Opus, you're in the camera. And as we exhale, go ahead and release all the way down. Nice, so rooting down through the feet. Yeah, we'll roll all the way up to stand. Nice, roll the shoulders up and back. Great, and then let's heel toe where you can step your feet wide. Right, let's turn the toes out, bend your knees. Okay, hands to the tops of the thighs. One of my favorites, you know this, dropping the left shoulder in, right shoulder back. Inhaling to the center and exhaling right shoulder forward, left shoulder back. Good. As we come to the middle, we'll press into the feet, lift up. Go ahead and parallel, interlace your hands, open the chest nice and broad, move those collarbones back. Exhale to fold. And crown of the head, just reaching down as the knuckles reach up. And we can exhale and release, hands down. Good. Frame your favorite foot, whichever one. Step all the way back to downward facing dog. And then let's bring right knee behind the right wrist, right ankle behind the left. Reach your left leg back. Good. And give yourself a few moments here in half pigeon. So you can drop the forearms down. You can sway side to side. And let yourself be still. If you do have a block nearby, it's always nice to bring it, place it underneath the forehead. So you can support the little bones of the neck. For some people, it's totally fine to make a little pad with the hands, forehead to the back of the hands. And just taking your time. Let's find a couple more spots on those outer hips. So just moving your elbows over to the left. And you can always walk your right fingertips away. So the whole chest is over that right foot. I'm just finding a little more space, a little more emphasis here. And then we can inhale to walk the hands back to the center. Nice. Let's lean over onto that right hip. Swing your left leg forward. And with this, bring right foot to left inner thigh, and then take a look at your hip. So the right hip should actually look like it's a little bit behind the left. You want those hips at an angle. Turn your chest so it's facing the left leg. So this will open up the space on the low back on the right side. That feels really awesome. So let's inhale, reach both arms up. And as you exhale, fold forward. So hands can come to the foot, they could come to the floor. If you have a strap nearby, you can use that. So wherever you are, let's lift halfway. And then exhale, send those elbows to the sides and fold forward. Chin can come to the chest. When I'm on vacation or away for the weekend, I really want my practices to just feel like dessert. I want them to feel so good. I don't really want them to be super challenging. I want my body to feel supported and for the muscles to feel long and open. And I just really want to enjoy it, to soak in the enjoyment of being in the body. And so on your in-breath, we'll lift halfway. And as you exhale, go ahead and unwind. And then however you want to do it, make your way back onto hands and knees. Come into downward facing dog. And we can bring the left knee behind the left wrist, left ankle behind the right. Go ahead and slide your right leg back. Come down to the forearms or to the hands. Find the intensity that feels good for you. And just giving yourself the opportunity to drop, to be in the breath, and be in this body. Like a moment of refuge. And bolstering, supporting, sustaining that refuge. And if it would feel good, then we can find some other angles. So maybe walking the forearms over to the right. So the whole torso pitches to the right. Reach your left fingertips away. And then we'll inhale, walk the hands back to the center. Lean to the left hip. Swing your right leg around. And then take a look at your setup here. So left foot is touching right inner thigh. Left hip is a little bit behind the right at an angle. And your chest is turning, so rotating to face the right knee. Inhale to reach both arms up. Flex your right foot. Exhale as you fold forward. So hands to the foot or to the shin, or if you have a strap around the foot holding the strap. Inhale to lift. And as you exhale, go ahead and fold forward. Forehead can come to or towards the knee. It's really not about that, but certainly bring the chin to the chest. Let's to open up the back neck a little bit more. Okay, and on your in-breath, we'll lift halfway. As you exhale, go ahead and unwind. And we can lengthen both legs forward. And let's find a little Paschimottanasana. So start in Dandasana with the hands down, lifting up tall through the chest. So hands are right by the hips. Legs are parallel. I like to bring the big toe mounds to touch. So press down, lift up. You can even lift the chin. Give yourself a little bit of an underbite by pushing the bottom teeth up towards the sky. And then keeping that length. Bring the chin back, reach the arms up, and as you exhale, fold. So hands to the feet or the shins, again, same options, lifting halfway. And on your exhalation, fold it down. I particularly like to kind of pull on the lateral or the outer, the pinky edge side of the foot. It starts to just put a little more emphasis on the lateral back line of the body. So those lateral hamstrings, lateral calves, which for me feels really good. Might feel good for you too. Nice. As you press your feet into your hands, try to draw the front ribs up and in, even rounding the spine a little bit. I know it's unusual. And then we can inhale to lift. Wow, look at that sun. And exhale to come all the way out. Nice. Good. If you'd like to lay down and take a Shavasana, it's the perfect place to do that. If you'd like to sit in meditation or continue on with another part of practice, maybe adding an inversion or something else, then that's lovely too. But this is where I will leave you. So if it works for you, we'll join the palms, we'll bow the chin. May our practice of cultivating space of refuge within ourselves, within these bodies, support us through this life. And may our practice be for the benefit of all beings. May all beings everywhere be free. Thank you so much for your practice.